Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers, all the seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, the chosen of the chosen of the chosen, few and you and you and you. You know who you are, you know who we are, we know who we are, and we are one. We are one. All right, peace, love, and light. I greet you all in the love that lights the truth. From my heart to yours, I am Akila Textry here at Divine Energy, where the energy is so divine. And I'm reporting to you live from that 5D consciousness, that new earth, new age 5D consciousness. Always, as usual, giving you the galactic news if you so choose to infuse with. You know, it's what you want to do with it. All right, so I haven't been on here. Welcome, but I have not been on here. I have not dropped any information in a while, since maybe about July. It's been a challenging second half of the year, but you know what? I just had to take that time and go with the flow, get what I get, and know what I know. It is what it is. It is what it is, right? Which is one of the cards that I pulled out my deck that is so relevant to right now, that it is what it is. And that is actually an action card, right? But I'm not here to discuss that. What I am here to talk about, why I had to just return and bring us up to date, is the new beginnings that I've been talking about. I did that series in, I believe it was July, and I was not able to follow up with any series after that. But you know, the divine did what it did in divine timing. It was for such a time as that, and this is for such a time as this right now. So happy new beginnings plus 10. And this is the closing. This is the 19th that I'm actually recording this right now. Faithfully, I get it put on, recorded, sent out to you today on the 19th, where you can get it fresh and hot off the pot. Right? But for those who don't know, those who may be new to, like, what is this new beginnings? Those who have been with me, you know. And those who have seen the series, you know, it's like, oh, new beginnings is back. So the 10 days of new beginnings, let me briefly explain before I go into what this one is and what I was getting information about with this particular one, as we are traversing, as we are transiting into a new paradigm, right? A new paradigm, as a lot of things are shifting, the energies are shifting. Pluto is in its final stage of Capricorn, entering into Aquarius, which is bringing us, we have been tiptoeing into, you know, Pluto has been tiptoeing with us, dipping us in and out into the age of the Aquarian, pretty much like introducing us, bringing us into that new age that a lot of us already know about, right? But this is going to be a turning point as we dip into it a little bit deeper. This is going to be the last dip before we, you know, retro back later on in the year of 2024, and then finally stay put in Aquarius for the next, you know, 12 years or so. So big moves, big things happening. So with that said, new beginnings, what's that all about? So in the beginning of this year of 2023, keep in mind this is a 7 universal year. So in the beginning of this year, around February, it was brought to my attention by a numerologist, a known numerologist and astrologer, Tanya Gabrielle. It was brought to my attention through watching one of her, what I call my forecasts, that the numbers, if you count it from the 10th through the 19th in February, the numbers, the date added up. The numbers of that date added up to that day, each day, from the 10th through the 19th. If you counted it up, it equaled 10. On the 11th, if you counted it up, it equaled 11, all the way through the 19th. And I thought it was a one-time thing, but nope, lo and behold, there was something brewing. And this happens, you know, every 7 universal year, every 7th universal year, which is when the universal year adds up to 7, which 7 means manifestation. It also means, you know, like a lightning bolt, heaven on earth, you know, bringing it down from the heavens on earth. And I don't mean just up in the sky. I mean the heavens, from the divine, from the newt to the netter into this earth, right? So with that said, in this 7th universal year, this was brought to my attention, of course, because this is after the Great Awakening. This is the first 7th universal year after the Great Awakening of 2020, which is really 2012. Wink, wink, for those who know, right? So with that said, so exciting. Excuse me if I'm a little too excited, but it is a beautiful thing when all of this is just unveiled for you, right? So those days added up. And then what I saw, lo and behold, it wasn't just that month. The next month in March, it was the same thing. Something said, follow this pattern again. I didn't hear anything from it on any forecast or anything, but just go into that book of life within, following that divine. It showed that the same thing from the 10th through the 19th, if you counted up the numbers, it would add up to that day plus 1 from the 10th through the 19th. And then also this following month and the following month and so on. So in April, it would be adding up to that day plus 2. Right? In May, it would be adding up to that day plus 3, and so on, which brings us to where we are now. For those of you who were in the last one, I was saying this is what brings us to the plus 7, which is where we were in, I believe it was July. No, it was plus 5 in July, bringing us to the plus 5. And now we are at plus 10. So if you add up those numbers, and I had to explain something to you, because if you add up the ones for this month, you're not going to get that day plus 10. But I have to explain what was discovered is that there are some numerology, some number codes. According to numerology, there are codes, what I call number codes, that show to us a whole new paradigm. It shows to us a new understanding of the cycle, the month, how many weeks are really in a cycle / month, what the Gregorian calendar calls a month. I call them cycles because it's a cycle, right? It's a moon cycle. That's what they're going by. They're calling every month, this goes by like a moon cycle, about 28 days or so. But anywho, if you count up those days from, like I said, you'll find that it confirms and it affirms that March is really the first month. March, spring, according to the spring equinox, according to the astrological sign of Aries, where Aries begins in March. According to that, that is a true beginning of a cycle or a month. You know, if we're going by our relation to the sun, right? Our sun sign as they go by them in the zodiac. So all of this is relevant. This is where we have birthed ourselves. We have rebirthed ourselves back to the true timeline of a true understanding of what happens in a true year, right? So this new year is really a true year. And I'm going to get to that. I'm going to share with you a little bit of the download as it came up for me. And I'm just, ready to share this with you. But do your math. You don't got to believe me. You don't got to take my word for it. But you do the math. Also within this year, I was able to see the dimensions, that there's an infinite number of 9, and I'm going to have to do, that's a story or a lesson for another day. I'm going to have to do something separate where we understand the infinite number of 9. 9 is what guides us through everything. Every cycle, there's a cycle of 9. Even in these years, there's a 7 universal year that we're in, and we're going to have, it goes up to 9. There's a cycle of 9, and then we begin a new cycle of 9. 9, if you follow the order and the structure of 9, you'll see what time it really is in the divine time, right? Time within time. So with that said, let me bring the focus back to us understanding what this new beginnings is. So for those who this may be new to, you may want to watch a previous video where I'm really breaking down the new beginnings for each month that we were in. But that's roughly what it started from, and seeing that in February, the day added up to exactly that day. So that new beginning, why I call it new beginnings, is because it starts on the 10th. It is 10 days, and then it ends on the 19th, which 9 and 1 is what? 10. And 10 represents a new beginning, a new cycle. That 1 and that 0, it's like we count from 1 to 9, and then what? You start again at 1. So the 0 represents, the feminine aspect where we are birthed through something. So 9 is really the 0, right? There's a transition happening there. Ooh, look at all these birds. Nature is so beautiful. I swear the birds, I wish you guys could see it. The birds just came and collected, right? Flew over right at the top. I ain't lying. Thank you, nature. Back that up. But with that, the 10, thank you, Spirit. 1 and 0. The 0 is really the 9. It's the feminine aspect that we are birthed through, that womb, that 0. And then once you come through, you start where? At 1. And that would be the masculine aspect, ready to begin. The masculine being action, the feminine being more non-action, more of receptivity and more of just being able to respond rather than to react, right? So the birth in itself is a natural response. So that's the 10. That's a new beginning. So why I say all that is because there was a triple code 10 10 10 on the 10th. 10 days ends on the 19th, 1 9 being 10. So you see 10 10 10. Whenever I see things repeated as 3, I don't know about you all. I don't know how you all get your messages. I can only speak for me. But when things are tripled, it's really a confirmation. There's power in 3. 3 is the creative completion. So automatically that rang bells like, ooh, what is this? 3 10s. And when I sat with it, it was revealed to me, this is a new beginnings. This is a cushion of new beginnings, a vortex, where in each vortex you will get to see and have things unveiled one step at a time throughout this year. And I saw it going all the way through December, because I was like, okay, 2023 universal year, it's going to count that way all the way to December, which is going to show you the 10th month. So this is what we were unveiling and looking at, and within each one there was a theme. And I didn't find this out till I did the series in about July, but there was a theme for each one, a dimensional theme where we understand the dimensions. It kind of took us into the dimensions. So in March, when it was New Beginnings plus 1, it was New Beginnings plus 1 giving us a beginning step, taking us into the first dimension, right? And giving us an inner look at the first dimension, the beginning. And then the next month was the second dimension. And so in the series, I was on the 5th one, which I was really being given the instructions of the dimensions. It was showing me an inner detail of the 5th dimension. And then everyone after that, it was showing me the 6th dimension, the 7th dimension, but I didn't record those and share those with you. However, although I didn't do a series, I did a closing like what I'm doing now. I did a closing for the 6th one, the 10 beginnings plus 6. So I will post that. I might post it right before this, so you may just see it, right before this, or you'll see it in the link below, as they always say, right? Which, by the way, if you didn't already do it, subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever this is. If this resonates with you, comment, because when we do that, it helps the algorithms and helps it get to where it needs to get to, right? Whoever, I'm just being the lighthouse, whoever it needs to get to, we help share it, we help spread that, right? So with that said, going right into this New Beginnings plus 10. So that catches us up, for those who didn't know, on what the New Beginnings is. You sit down with the pen and paper and do your math and see if it adds up for you, right? So when you do that, I must say, when you do that and you see the New Beginnings plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up to the 9th month, you won't see it when you get to October. Let me explain. Remember, I said that the number codes, there are number codes. What do I mean by number codes? Meaning, if you add up a day and you get, let's say you get 17. 7 and 1 is 8. That is a true number code. That's what I call the number code. And that is how I was able to find the cycles within a month, because it really repeats itself 1 through 9. For those of you, if you do it for one whole month and just look at every time you add up the date, don't just stop there. Add the number code. The 7 and the 1 is 8, right? If you get 18, the 8 and the 1 is 9. If you get 19, the 9 and the 1 is 10, which is really 1. Right? This is something I'm going to probably have to do something else to really break this down, understanding the number codes, something different from that. I don't want to take up too much time doing that right here, but that's how you would look at it. So with that, when you get to October, this is where it went for me, because I was so sure everything was New Beginnings plus 7, New Beginnings plus 8. When you get to 8, the true month. October is new beginnings plus 8. October 8, right? When you get to, I believe it is October. When you get to October, you will see the 10, right? So when you count the days, it's not one digit, it's a 1 and a 0. And when you count up all those digits, you will not actually be able to see the new beginnings plus 10. The way that I was able to find it is when you count the number code, you have to count it 2 times. So what you do is you count the day up and you see what the number code is. And then when you count the day as if it would have been 10 plus 8, you would see that that is 18, and 8 and 1 is 9. So that would be the number code, and it matched the same number code that the Gregorian calendar was giving us, if you get what I'm saying. So that's how I was able to, it's like I had to lift the sheet, if you will, lift the blanket. It's like, I was like, Spirit, this is not adding up. And it was like, no, lift the sheet. I want you to look at the code. Look at the code that is behind that. The code never changes, it never shifts. You'll see what it really and truly is according to the code. So when I lifted and I saw, yep, it equals the same thing. And that's what I had to do for October, November, and December, because of the numbering that changes. It being a 1 and a 0, a 1 and a 1, and a 1 and a 2. So when you add that up, you'll see what to do. Right? So bam, here we are at new beginnings plus 10 with all that said. So I'm just going to give a little bit of what came up, sharing that with y'all, what this new year is all about. And I will do maybe a part 2 and add to this later. So this is the closing, and although it's the closing of a new beginnings, according to the old collective consciousness of the Gregorian calendar, this is the beginning of the new beginnings, right? For the new true collective consciousness of the 5D new earth, calendar. It's like a whole new calendar we're being opened up to. Wait till I go in and wait till y'all hear this. As this 7 universal year has exposed us to the true timeline reality of the true cycles within cycles of the year. And as we are brought to the awareness of this beginning in the true 10th cycle or month of the year, then this will be noted to those who are awakened to the truth that this is the first of the last 3 cycles or months of the year, known now as the ReSpirit cycles. These last 3 months are really ReSpirit, and I'll explain that. It's the ReSpirit month or cycle, beginning from what is collectively known from December to February, and seasonally known as winter. So therefore, to those who are in alignment, right, faithfully, I'm not going too fast. To those who are in alignment, this is an extension to the year of 2023 as the 7th universal year from December to February, as February is actually the 12th month, the 12th cycle month, according to the numerology codes that I was explaining before. Some may say sacred geometry, right? According to these numerology codes that were recovered in the new beginnings vortex throughout this entire year, as I've just explained. It is also confirmed at the end of this year, as the Gregorian calendar states on the last day of their year as 12/31/23, which is clearly stated 123 123. Check the numbers and you will see, right? Beginning the count of ready, set, go. Y'all know when you be like ready, set, go, 1 2 3, it's saying something for a reason, right? And it's also letting us know that these 3 months are the 1 2 3 cycles or months for the winter season of 2023. The year is not over, but we are embarking on something new and something true. Ain't nothing new under the sun. So I like to say true, right? So happy true year when that comes. Happy true year, happy true year. This is an extension. The year is not over. It ain't over, right? So the new year doesn't begin until the spring equinox and the astrological beginning in March, meaning Aries, when that astrological sign in Aries, as they call it, Aries, in March. And, happy true year when that comes. That is a true year. So I say all of that to say that this is really an extension. Do not get caught up on the hype of this being the end of the year, which I even thought it was. Like, I thought this new beginnings was going to stop in December. I'm seeing where it shows us December is the true 10th month, and it shows us that in the number codes. However, as we come to the close of the year, Spirit was showing me it ain't over. Guess what? New collective consciousness. Let me say true collective consciousness. There's a new and true collective consciousness that is on the rise, right? Yes, we have the Gregorian calendar, and most of the collective is stuck on that and still using it. That some of us who see this new earth, and we know this new shift that's coming, some of us are still used to using that calendar. Now we're going to have to do conversions. We're going to have to learn how to convert. That's why I have a calendar coming to a calendar near you, into a 5D corner near you, because we have to be able to convert where we really are, what the months are, where we really are seasonally. We are aligning with true timeline reality. And this is a new true collective consciousness. For those of us who are aligned, we will be expanding this year. It does not end in December. December is only the 10th month. So what they know as 2023, because it's not even 2023, but we're going to go with that. We got to take it one step at a time. So what they know as 2023 does not end until February, the 12th cycle or 12th month. Booyah for new beginnings, right? What a beautiful vortex that we've been in all throughout this year. And another thing to look at, that part where the days equal the day in February, that actually happened in November, 9 months later. And that 9th month is a reflection of where we started in February. That is something else I will go into a little bit further, but look at that as well. That was a reflective, and it shows the end of the year. So we have 9 working months throughout the year. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. The last 3 months is what I call the ReSpirit months, which is our winter season. That's when we are supposed to respirit ourselves, or respite, whatever you may call it. But that is the 1, 2, 3. Those last 3 months that make up a collective year, annual year of 12. But 9 is a spiritual completion. 12 is a cyclical completion that includes time to respirit ourselves. Hey, happy new beginnings plus 10, y'all. Today is the closing, and there is so much more that I have to add to that. So we will extend and do a part 2. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I will expand on whatever it is you feel like you would like to hear me expand on. With that said, I greet you all in this love and light. This is a beautiful experience. Have a happy, true year when it comes, and be true to the year and the timeline in you. Chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. So each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out, and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Peace, love, and light.